Reserve time.
Dragneel, they were the lower bracket finalists. They were going up against Digital Chaos, the team that went down 2-1 in this exact matchup between Shazam and them. And Mason, who was doing well mid as Necrophos, 3 minutes into the game he DCs. And we get word from
10
Clairvoyance that
seconds
they ran out
remaining.
of, that he didn't have any internet service provider, and there were no other options around him. So what ended up happening is they said, okay, we have 10 minutes of reserve time or pause time. We're going to use that, and then after that, they just GG'd out. They just GG'd out. Straight up like that. And I thought it meant the whole series, right? At that point in time. Then what happened was they joined the next game, they're loading in, and Mason doesn't load. And Clairvoyance waits for about 2 minutes, and then he forfeits. Dragneel literally played 3 minutes of Dota against Digital Chaos. Shazam had maybe a 30-minute break, and we're already into the grand finals. That's not a great way to start, Fogged, but this is still a very hype best-of-5 series.
Yeah, it's just really sad to see that kind of thing happen. Of course, they weren't the favorites going into the series by any means, but losing like that, just having your ride end in that type of manner is just really
it sucks.
It's heartbreaking. Really.
Yeah, I don't
Especially
know
when you know kind of the players. Like I was just messaging Snaking a bit, and he's
right.
like, he's really hurt by it. He's just like, man, this really sucks. He's like, we were actually feeling pretty good today, and
they were looking good for the first 3 minutes of the game they played.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't tell you can't tell much from that, but like it looked okay. It looked like they were going to be able to at least put up a better contest than what we saw the other day against Digital Chaos.
But at least now we've got Shazam versus DC. We've really interesting stuff coming out already.
Yes.
Taking a look quick already at the first two bans, showing an extreme amount of respect for SVG. DC bans the Elder Titan in the first two.
I am not surprised by that, considering how the last two games went for Digital Chaos. That is not that is a hero that did so much work for Shazam that it's actually insane. Every single team fight they won, a lot of it was based off of Stomps, Earth Splitter, even Natural Order helping out, getting kills, armor reduction, obviously, magic resistance reduction was huge. So Shazam, they don't have that in their toolkit. That was the if you are just joining us, if you were looking for a storyline for that first series that we saw, it would be SVG on the Elder Titan, but that's not a thing anymore. You know, it's going to get banned in probably every game, I'd say, from here on out.
DC definitely learned from those games from earlier.
Right.
And it really, that's another thing that just kind of sucks for Shazam, is that they were able to see supposed to be able to see DC versus Dragneel.
Right.
So this is a big letdown for them, because they were like, oh, nice, you know, we get something out of this winner bracket, out of winner this, but now they don't get an advantage, no game advantage. They don't get the advantage of watching DC play, don't see any new picks or anything. They're just jumping into this game.
They just have to go on. They have to go on past experience, playing up against them, and these are two storied teams. They played a lot of series against each other. They've scrimmed each other all the time. I know that a lot of the DC players respect Shazam, and likewise on the other side, they both consider each other very good teams. Like Shazam thinks Digital Chaos is very strong, DC thinks Shazam is very strong. So this was the series that a lot of people thought was going to be the grand finals. Not shocking that we're here. A little surprising how we got here. But nonetheless, it's like resetting the bracket, right, is what it's like. You know, if you're into fighting games or into StarCraft or whatever, you'll see that in a lot of instances. You can reset the bracket by, if you're from the loser's bracket, that's what happens. There's no winner's advantage here for Shazam whatsoever. They don't have a one-game advantage. You don't have to reset the bracket. So Shazam gained absolutely nothing out of winning that first match, really. You're supposed to be able to see the other picks, but they just didn't have they didn't have the time. So that's the thing. And we'll see. I mean, they did see the picks in game one at the very least, but
yeah, at least they got to see a little bit, right? Like a little tiny bit, just the picks.
All right, we're gonna see the picks. We're gonna see how they lane them. Okay, cool. That's it. They got one kill on the Darkseer top lane. That was the end of the game.
So let's see. We have Mirana, Beastmaster. The Mirana, is it that contested between these two teams? I guess so, right?
Yes.
Resolution's been playing it.
Resolution's been playing it. Yeah, they played it Misery in the third game as a support. So Shazam are going to pick it up for themselves. MSS played it the first game, and he played it mid. Actually, he played it, I think, in aggro tri-lane, and it worked out pretty well. So Shazam mixed things up occasionally. They actually had the Morphling in the mid lane. I think that was the second game, and Mirana was played in the aggro tri-lane for Shazam. That worked out pretty well. They also pick up the Beastmaster, which Brax has been playing in the offlane exclusively so far. They haven't done any of the support Beastmaster with Iron Talon yet, and I don't think they will.
Doesn't seem like their style.
No, I don't think it is, no. But who knows? I mean, with maybe Elder Titan out of the pool, SVG, you know, and Jason, we'll see what they want to pick up. Jason has been playing a lot of line, so there's a good chance that they pick that up for themselves again. But to deal with the Bounty Hunter, we have to see what they're going to grab, you know.
Yeah,
Slaughter would have been a good choice, but you can't get it now, so.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see how they're going to adjust, because they obviously didn't really care about the Bounty Hunter, and they just picked the Marana first instead. And yeah, Slaughter Bounty Hunter for Digital Chaos. Pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary. We've been seeing these, so this is like pretty much the top 4 heroes across the regions for the most part, because everything else is banned.
We saw one Bounty Hunter that was in Game 3 last game, I think. Might have actually been in the game we just saw. I can't quite remember, but it wasn't, I don't know if it had a huge impact. I think it was...
DC and Shazam did not have the Bounty
Hunter. Oh, okay. Maybe it was just banned out. Yeah,
we've been watching the EU games constantly too, so we keep seeing like bounties and.
That's the thing. Like bounty wasn't hotly contested in the last series, I don't think. So it's kind of interesting to see it picked first over, or second overall this particular game. But and they'll deny the line from Jason by picking it up for themselves. Just a strong all-around hero, lots of burst. Hex obviously very good. Getting a blink dagger on this hero makes this initiation that much better. You know, double to triple to quadruple earth spikes into ravages essentially. So the Lion has a lot of high potential in terms of what he can get done on the map.
How do you feel about that CK ban? I guess that's just one because Shazam played it earlier.
Yeah, TC likes playing it. I don't think it's that threatening. I think you can get away and beat the CK. Because I think all you have to do is stop him from getting his armlet super early. And if you do that, then you're in a good position. I like CK as a hero, but TC he's been a little shaky on it in my opinion. They did win that game against FDL, but it was a long game.
It seemed like that game was more the story of the same thing. The Elder Titan felt like the big make or break.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough. I mean, a lot of that damage they were getting, a lot of that damage it was inflated based on armor reduction and magic resistance reduction. So they're going to have to deal with it. They're going to go for the Bane now. They're kind of like swapping things. They picked the Bane, which was what Saxa was playing or what Misery was playing earlier. And they now grab the Bane. So like they're swapping heroes to a certain extent, at least with the supports and Bane in line.
Yeah, I don't think that they've ever played Bane on Shazam. I guess it's just like changing it up a bit because it's like a new hero that's kind of coming around, and it's so good with the Marana for the setup.
Yeah, they want to be able to get the kills with the Marana arrow, and I think that's fine. He's fine at roaming with Nightmare to set something up as long as you have another disable on top of that. And well, there was a drought banned out. Digital Chaos know the strength of a pushing strategy. They've done it themselves recently against Evernova S, so they won't let that get through. That's fine. You don't want to get cheesed game 1. I feel like you don't want to get cheesed. So,
trying to think what secondary hero that they want here. They already have their supports. They can switch up depending if Resolution or Moo play the Slaughter, so that's really good for them. They can keep it a little bit open. So we'll probably be seeing. We'll probably be finding out which one of those is in the safe lane now, because they usually save Weehas for last.
Yes,
right?
It's like 4th or 5th is when they usually pick Weehas. Yeah. But that's because, and this is what you were talking about yesterday, and I really liked what you were talking about. You were talking about how Misery always prioritizes getting those disables early, like the things that you really need to be able to chase, to be able to fight effectively. He has those now, and now he can decide what does he want to pick up for Weeha. Are they going to be playing up against Marana mid? You know, where do they go from here? The Slaughter, I think, was played by Resolution the last time I saw it.
Yeah.
So that's fine. You could put him in the safe lane or even do like an aggro tri-lane or something like that. They really have prioritized, what they prioritize is like doing an aggro duel or aggro tri-lane and getting moves safe lane farm on like Sand King or something.
Oh, that's a pretty big change up for them.
That's huge. I feel like that's such a huge pick for Digital Chaos.
I feel like the last time DC picked it was when Weeha played it versus FDL. And
yeah, I think so.
It was versus CC mid and level 5 happened and he dove CC super hard. And that game was a disaster, of course. It was just really well done by DC. FDL wasn't able to do much.
Yeah. I like this pick a lot because you have something to fall back on. Very good for pushing down towers.
Gives them the push. I think that's the big one.
Yeah, Slaughter is okay at pushing. The rest of those Bounty Hunter in line, obviously, their supports, whatever. Lone Druid gives you that demolish, and that's really important. Lifestealer comes out for Shazam, and that did not work out. I think it was the first game that we saw today. They picked Lifestealer for TC. They did this Beastmaster Lifestealer combo where Brax would eventually get a Blink Dagger, but they were too far behind at that point. They had maybe a 15k net worth deficit by the time Brax had gotten his Blink and his full Necro 3. And so when they tried going for these initiations, these kills, it didn't work out. So I'm kind of hesitant to see how Shazam play this Lifestealer for TC, but this makes things a bit more cut and dry. Like Marana probably going to be played either in the mid or 4 position at this point in time because the Lifestealer's been picked up.
Yeah. Lifestealer though, He can do great versus Lone Druid. Like he can, of course, he does a ton of damage to the bear, and if he's like in a head position, he does a lot. But at the same time, DC does have a crazy amount of potential to just be able to kite the lifesteal around with the track. The Blood Art obviously sprinting around, and Lion has tons of disable for the lifestealer if he's not raged up. But track is the big one, and then Root is the other big one.
Yeah, this lifestealer, he might find his life pretty miserable especially if he gets shut down early, which could happen. I mean, there's a possibility there. Get an in-root and Tangle coming through for the Lone Druid onto the lifestealer. Last pick's coming out, and we're going to figure out where this Mirana is going to be situated and who's going to be playing what in just a moment. Is this going to be a mid Mirana? Is it going to be a support Mirana? Is it going to be a Beastmaster that's support? Is it going to be an offlane Beastmaster? So we're waiting for our...
There's the other support.
We
have not been seeing this hero, but it is amazing versus Lone Druid. I was literally thinking, like, what if they pick Phoenix here? But I didn't get to say because I wasn't too sure if people are even liking it because I haven't seen it at all.
Yeah. I saw it all the time with Axe. That's the one thing I see it with. And then, well, for Digital Cast, their last pick is going to be coming out here, and we'll see what that is.
Yeah, that is a really good point, though. With the Axe, it has a lot of synergy because obviously the call, while the egg is going off, people can't attack the egg. The Sunray plus the call is also absurd damage.
Yeah, I think the Roar and Arrows and Nightmares kind of help Phoenix in this regard. It's a little bit of more like single target disable, and the Lifestealer kind of just running at you. It's pretty good against Slardar. Okay, it's not the best against Lone Druid, I think. But it's pretty good against everybody else. There's no real ranged attackers here. It comes down to what DC want to pick up last. I mean, they have both their supports. They have, I think, their safe laner. Lone Druid could be played by Moon in the offlane. I don't think that'll be the case.
It's probably Weehaw in the Lone Druid.
Yeah, I would agree. And it is the bat coming out.
That's probably, yeah, that's the Moo bat.
I think so. I want to wait and see who picks it up.
It's gotta be.
I think you're right.
No way they're doing... Maybe they do safe lane. No, okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They do some. You were the one who said it too. They do some weird like dual off lane type things. So
yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them to do maybe some like short lane bat rider with a Slardar off lane with a dual lane.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like Slardar, Lion, off lane, bat rider put down in the safe lane bottom. You have the Lone Druid mid, and Sox obviously roaming because he's a bounty hunter.
They still could potentially do it. We're not too sure because DC loves doing the dual lanes.
Yes. That's been like the not just DC, but like I feel like every team that I watch in SEA, that was their thought process too. We have a Slardar, let's get something to go with him. Let's do aggro duel. Physical crush, physical damage from Slithering Crush is really good. As long as we have like another disable or some good damage sources, we're fine. And we can try to deny this Lifestealer's farm. Although against the Lifestealer, it's a little difficult, but and on top of that, a Phoenix too.
Who are you favoring right now?
It's tough. I think giving the Lone Druid up was rough, and Soxa having a bounty hunter is not a great start for Shazam. I think it could go either way. I'm going to say DC take at least this first game, but we'll wait and see. I mean, Shazam, obviously the American boys, DC, mostly European, playing in the American Qualifier, and Moo, of course, the lone American player. And we'll see how he gets it done in this offlane as the Bat Rider. We don't see much offlane Bat anymore because it's so easy to deal with. And he actually has TP'd up and put a ward down, which will help him. But it's not going to be that aggro dual lane that we talked about.
We'll probably, because they have Soxa, we'll probably just see him moving around depending on how he feels would be the best. Because Bane is an extremely strong hero versus the Bounty Hunter.
We'll wait and see what the case is.
But I also do agree. I think DC, if they come out to a nice laning phase, it's going to be obviously amazing for them because Shazam has very level-dependent supports. So if they don't get a lot out of the safe lane, I think they're going to be in a struggling position.
Yeah, I think so too. I think maybe even sending the Lifestealer to the jungle at some point in time, and just, I don't know, giving the lane to somebody else, looking for rotations, I don't know. They have to get some experience going, and that might have to be through, well, Tome of Knowledge helps, but that's not going to be for a bit. And I think the problem with the SVG and Bane, SVG Phoenix and Jason Bane is that are they really going to roam on this Lone Druid mid? Like, are they going to be able to find kills on him?
SVG usually just helps mid a lot by himself for the most part in these games. So maybe we'll just see him stick around in the mid lane more, while the Bane and the Lifestealer just kind of deal with the Bat Rider on their own.
Okay.
We'll see what kind of approach they decide to go with, but that's usually what SVG, I feel like.
Yeah, SVG is mid right now. He'll probably head to the jungle and then up to the top lane. And there's a ward here up at the top rune spot pretty much, and they TP'd Moo to get there to put that down. So Moo is already going to have some good vision. He has a sentry as well to deward this ward. This is a very interestingly placed ward, but one that can be dewarded if he gets in the right spot. So that sentry could be placed down. We'll see. That deward could be huge for Moo. We'll wait and see if that's going to happen.
Same thing for Brax, too. Brax has a sentry,
too. He found it. He actually just got the tail end of it.
He put that sentry up so far, too.
Yeah.
That was Very bold by
If he
him.
puts that an inch to the left or right,
Oh,
or
he might
to the
die
right,
here,
yeah,
though.
he's gonna get open wounded. They're gonna swoop in as well, and Moo is in some trouble. The brain
dead.
sap. He gets the ward down, but he's gonna fall. And first blood will go to SVG. That's huge, and with Icarus dive nonetheless. That's not even Sunray. That's just a slow of 25%, and they kill him with right click alone.
I guess he thought that they wouldn't have the damage because he saw the Phoenix. He just went up and played super aggressive. I guess he thought maybe the regen from the ward would be able to keep him alive.
Moo is not going to get anything in this lane. If they keep going at him like they are now, he is not going to get anything in this lane.
He is keeping 2 supports there, though. And he is a hero that can kind of go to the jungle. He just
That's
needs to somehow sneak that level 2.
That's right. I think this does kind of hinder MSS a little bit because you talked about the help that he's going to be getting. Sox is going to roam in for DC, whereas maybe SVG roams in a little bit later, but MSS will see Soxa. He's got lead. This is a very hard gank to actually get. It's just going to be harassed more so than anything, and Sox is doing a pretty good job of it at this point in time. But we'll see how he progresses and where he decides to go. Will Soxa help out the Bat Rider top lane? I think that's what you were suggesting.
He's going to help him out, but not actually help his lane. He's going to stack probably for him.
Okay. That makes the most sense.
I saw him ping it out, but okay, nope.
He's just going to shadow walk and go top rune. 2-minute rune coming up. SVG is nearby.
That was weird. Soxa was pinging the big camp too, like he was going to stack it, but I guess he was just like, you know what, rune's more important.
SVG might get this. Yes. No, Soxa gets it. That's huge. And SVG
dangerous.
just has to Icarus dive now. He gets up and away, but he has to use a lot of regen. He did 2 hits to him, and he's at half health now because Phoenix is not a very tanky hero.
0 armor, man.
Not great.
No, but Brax is getting a bit more than the Bat Rider, which is great for him. He's almost level 3, while Bat's only level 1, 1.5. We're gonna see Moo have to somehow sneak his level 2 in some way. He's gonna go try to
fight
mooch.
mid. They have a sentry down, so they know that Sox is nearby. SVG's here as well. Is there an observer ward on the hill for DC? It looks like no. They have no vision. They used it for that top rune area, I believe. Unless they got it countered. No, there's one bottom as well as one top, so they don't have any vision mid. But they're not concerned about the roaming ganks coming in from the Phoenix. I think he's just trying to keep MSS safe at this point.
Yep, Moo finds his level 2. And we did see Soxa does make his way toward that top lane instead.
Oh,
and
he pulled the
pull
creep wave
a bit. Interesting.
If he pulls it all the way around, that's huge. They could stop this. SVG's nearby. Oh, they want to go on Z-Talk, or excuse me, Moo instead, not Z-Talk. Jeez, I got a tag confused.
that dot Z-Talk, right?
Rest in peace.
Reps in pieces.
Brax is going to get a little right-click harass from Misery. So we're just kind of settling into this farming pace.
Oh, Soxa might get the courier here.
It's going through Janata. Yeah, he's going to get it.
He's got it. As soon as they speed burst too. Oh, that's so unfortunate. His cooldown is, he does have 8 seconds on the Shadow Walk.
Oh, he missed the arrow.
He dodged the arrow.
And now he just TP's out. No problems for Soxa. Axe is not going to make it, even if they did. It's not enough damage. Level 1 Axe is coming out.
Sick play.
That's huge. And Soxa, we've seen it time and time again. Just able to get it done with that bounty hunter. No problems whatsoever.
Thankfully, Mojo's bottle was not on the courier.
Right. But
still.
It's still a lot of gold going the way of DC. You can see it just jumps right up to almost 1,000 after that. And MSS getting harassed 13 to 22. Weeha's doing a great job.
They
But now, yeah, they're going to use the Sunray as well. They've got a good slow up on him, but they have the help from Misery. They're going to use that Earthspike. He whipped it. Will they continue to go? They have Nightmare. They're going to use it. Sox is nearby. SVG's going to get it all caught with the Janata and the Shuriken. Now TC has to think, do we really want to go for this? They get the Hex off. Soxa just doing some right click to Jason. They might rotate at a couple of other heroes. They've dove too far. MSS is here with a haste rune. He's looking for the Starstorm. Doing enough damage? I don't think so. He needs to get out at this point. The Rage coming through. He'll TP out. Jason getting away as well. And MSS is going to just head back towards the mid lane after forcing everyone to rotate with the exception of Resolution on the Slardar.
How awkward.
It was so weird. But
that definitely favors. I think that still favors DC. The only thing that sucks for them is that they forced like Weehaw ported.
Yes.
But
he's already walking back towards mid.
Yeah, Mojo rotated as well, so it's and Weehaw's winning the mid lane. So I have to say that does favor DC.
Yeah, MSS needs to step up his CS game at this point because he's down 12 right now. And Weehaw with a Spirit Bear and his right click makes it a lot easier against Mojo Stormstout. He's a full level ahead of MSS at this point. Weehaw is having a grand old time. This lone druid, this was why I was concerned for Shazam when I saw this lone druid pick, because Weehaw has dominated in this matchup, or at least with this hero in the mid lane previously. And they don't have any help to get kills, to look for ganks to set things up. SVG's not going to do it. Obviously, the Bane really won't help. Good Axe Snipe coming out. Brax will at least get one of those CS. He's level 4, almost 5. SVG leeching up level 4 down here as well. So, a little early game action. DC, I think, clearly winning this stage of the game. But
not by much.
It's only about 1,000, I think.
Yeah.
All right. where we go from here, Brax is going to have a Hawk. He's actually out of mana. No Iron Talent for him. He's 700 gold, so he'll try to get that quick Necronomicon. Moo will lose his clarity. He's got Windlace and Tranquils, so he's actually impossible to chase down.
That was super close bottom lane. SVG uses Icarus Dive, and Saksa almost canceled it with Shuriken, but he was a quarter of a second too late, it seemed.
And he'll stroll on through the Ancients. Another TP coming out top lane. That's MSS already rotating out of mid. He's looking for a potential nightmare. The arrow's going to come through, and it's going to hit perfectly. And TC has to walk all the way around. They're going to jump up the Starstorm as well. They're going to open moves, and they'll find move for a second time. That is a... Really, they invested a lot into that kill. MSS gets it, which almost makes it worth it, but I feel like he misses out on so much CS because of that.
Yeah, but he's not really getting much anyway in the mid lane. He's like, Weeha's doing a really good job. He's not really denying so much, but he's getting like every single last hit, and Mojo is struggling a bit.
Yeah, this lone druid I think needed to be banned when it all came down to it.
It just seems like it's a really cool pick too, because there is a Bane and the Mirana, like we were saying constantly. We didn't really
God, he sniped the courier again.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he did it. So I have no idea how Saksa manages to do this every game, honestly. It's ridiculous.
Guy has incredible map awareness. But yeah, the lone druid is always able to counteract the Bane because you can wake yourself up, you can catch the arrow with your bear.
Right.
I really like that pickup by them.
That's huge. Well, they're going to back up together. And the top lane as Moo is not here anymore. It's Misery. He's going to be leeching experience. Moo is in the jungle. He's got a stack or two for him. He's level 3. It's only level 3. That's the one downside for Digital Chaos right now, is that he has to take this stack. That'll get him some extra levels, but he is still behind. He should have had level 6 at this point already, but he's in the off lane. He's getting killed. He's not really getting it. He's pretty much having as rough of a time as Mojo Stormstout. Maybe not as bad. Or actually, Mojo Stormstout not having as bad a time as Moo, but...
Moo can catch up in a much better manner than a Mirana, though. You know, he can just go to the jungle, clear some stacks, which they have, and he'll be just fine. He's gonna get his blink a bit later in this game. That's all.
So it'll probably be a Midas for MSS at some point, just because I don't think he can really do anything with.
Yeah, he bought the gloves of haste already. He's gonna go for it right away.
He has nothing right now, and he probably kind of has to invest in the late game and hope his team can do enough with the armlet on the lifestealer.
Yeah, the big positive that Shazam has going for them is Brax is having a really good time right now in the offlane. He's got 36 CS, almost level 7, and on his way toward his Necrobook.
Resolution now, second in net worth. He currently has his armlet. He got free farm. He was not pressured whatsoever. Even though Brax was down here, they weren't looking for kills like we talked about. There is level 6 in the Beastmaster. This is about the time you might want to see a Smoke of Deceit gank, I would say, in the first night time, but that's gone past at this point.
Yeah, and we do see Mojo, though, holding on to his level 6 skill point, so he's deciding if he wants to pick up the Moonlight Shadow or not still.
He's going to throw out an arrow.
Gets the small creep.
Not the creep he wanted, I'm sure, but it's fine. He picks up the bounty rune too, so he'll get some extra gold. No courier though. That's rough.
Yep. Now Weehaw, I was expecting him to do this even more so than he has been. He's going to go to the jungle. He's giving his bounty hunter the level 6 in the mid lane, while we'll probably see Misery pick up by the Tome of Knowledge pretty soon at that 10-minute mark.
Yeah. Just clean, solid play again from Digital Chaos. Moo is level 5 now, and he's catching up pretty quickly like you talked about. It's not going to be that ridiculous 9 to 10 minute blank dagger timing that you see when you have a really good time. In fact, he's having maybe the furthest time from it, but he will be able to catch back up. It's going to be a long ways before he can get that blink dagger. He already has a ton of movement speed with the Windlace, so...
We've got the first smoke of the game. We have SVG with an infested lifestealer. They're going to be going for Resolution bottom lane.
They need that roar. He's going to sprint away, though. It seems like he knows something's coming. He really does not like the way that he's moving up on him, that Brax is moving up on him. And Resolution just... Game says the smoke didn't even break.
He has to... It's kind of an indicator. You see Bane farming in the top lane, that should be like a big alert right in your head, like, oh man, they're going for a move on me. And especially the way Brax kind of played there, I think it kind of gave like a little bit of a telltale. He stepped up in like a kind of aggressive manner, and instantly Resolution started sprinting.
They're going to send out a Hawk probably, but it's not going to find Resolution, who's in the tree line here.
They all have TPs on the side of DC, though. They are ready to react.
They're smoked up themselves. DC are probably going to get ready. There's the roar coming in. The TPs are ready to go. They wanted to force those TPs in backup, and that seems to be the case. Resolution, he tried to sprint, but the double boar is on him. The Spore Slow is too much for him to deal with, and they force out only Saksa, and the rest is... Well, Weeha's still farming, and you can see Misery's coming in. He's smoked up. This is dangerous. 6. It's going to be a 4-on-3 if they decide to initiate, with Shazam having the number favor here. So Saksa, they're going to jump out. Open wounds, not going to go. TC doesn't look for it. They actually use the dust, but they're going to back up together now. Not going to try to initiate. They already Icarus dive. That's on cooldown. Force another TP out, and that's it. They force out the lone druid. They bring the bear.
Moo's just chilling in the top lane farming. He's like, guys, keep it up. Keep messing with them. Keep wasting their time.
1,200 gold now, and he's going to catch up. He's out of mana to Firefly. He already used it on cooldown. That was just the most strange way to try to initiate, to force out TPs. It's not like they put any wards down. There's still an observer ward that's going to scout out Jason and Brax nearby. They know this. Sox is going to come in. They don't have any more detection, I don't believe. Not in these two heroes.
A lot of wasted time for TC though, while he was infested there.
Z-Talk getting star-stormed.
Z-Talk.
Move. God, every time.
I'll get you to stop, don't worry.
Thanks. I didn't do it in the other series. I don't know why I'm doing it now. I have absolutely no idea.
No worries.
It's what happens when you cast 3 series just hitting Kappa.
Neither team has picked up their Tome of Knowledge yet, which I thought we'd see that picked up and flown out right away since this SVG is still not level 6. Only one not 6 yet.
He really needs it. And this is a very passive game. I mean, there's been a lot of aggressive movement that hasn't turned into anything so far. And it's just been farming, which I think favors the Radiant team more. It favors DC more in this situation. You have a lone druid.
Oh, absolutely. They have a lone druid as well as a Slardar who, of course, amplified damage works for the bear. So he's able, whoever is amped is going to be getting hit like a truck. They have Roshan potential and they have pushing potential.
But here comes the Necro 1. That's the thing. This is the Beastmaster turns into that 3rd core that maybe you're missing, or that 4th core or whatever. And so you have to find something to get done with this.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the time. This night time coming up right now at 12 minutes is when they are looking for something. I'd imagine that the first smoke, okay, it doesn't work out. Saksa is playing very aggressively. He's going to find the courier again, but he doesn't quite get there in time.
He was so close to getting it.
Had he gotten a 3rd courier kill, I would have flipped out, man.
That would be super demoralizing for Shazam.
How do you deal with
it? Oh
it?
my goodness.
That's how they beat, I think, Dragneel earlier. They just killed the courier and dove behind towers 3 times. It might have been Evernova S, I can't remember. Scan coming out, Roar not there, Resolution getting slowed up by the boar. They scan for Shazam is going to reveal that he's backing up. And, yeah,
I think this is when DC just ditches this tower.
Yeah, they're going to back up together. And while this is happening again, what you were talking about, Moo's having a great time top lane. He's almost got his Blink Dagger now. This guy was having an awful time earlier. He's 1,800 gold. He's got 2,000 gold now.
Oh, wow. Shazam isn't even going to be going for the tower. It looks like they're going for kills.
Oh, this movement is just, they're rough. They're having such a rough time on Shazam's side.
I feel like they should have just still pressured the tower just off of that move. Even though DC reads it, you should gain something off of your moves.
Now Blink Dagger for Slaughter after having
so
the
much
arm
harder.
lit. This is so rough for them now with the initiation potential they have. MSS still trying to get that Midas. It's actually being ferried out now. Maybe with the Midas they can catch back up, but they still have to deal with the Lone Druid. They have to deal with a Slaughter who is going to be very tough to kill, and he's got great initiation potential. They will smoke up, but DC will look for their first real fight of the game. Despite Shazam having a 3-1 advantage, it's, I think, heavily in favor of Digital Chaos right now. As a 2,000 net worth lead, Shazam will try to push bottom. The smoke wraparound is going to go mid, and they're going to try to find SVG. Not the best target. He does have Supernova, not that he'd want to use it. And they see him. They ping him out. They know where he is. They've got the Icarus dive. They jump in. They get the stun off. He's going to get jumped on. He's going to be able to Icarus dive to the high ground. But guess what? Misery was there waiting for the Icarus dive and gets it done with his right click.
3-man track, and Misery's just about has his Blink Dagger now on that line, which is
That
another form of initiation.
That's
have
huge.
All 3 Blinks are going to be picked up around the exact
He's going to just TP out. There's not going to be that much further aggression on the Tier 1 tower because it's already going to go down here. Deny, not in range for MSS. Mojo Stormstout doesn't get it done. They do push that Tier 1 tower down bottom. And they're trying to hightail it out of mid, which is where the action looks to be happening and breaking out. But Blink Daggers aplenty. We just saw the Slaughter get one. Moo has one now, as well as Lion getting his in just a moment.
Yep. 14-minute Blink on Lion. Your 5 Lion, pretty much. That's kind of ideal. I think Sox has been playing a little bit more of the 5 in this game, though.
Yeah, this has been really good so far for Digital Chaos. The only downside was the underfarm Moo at about 9 to 10 minutes, but that has since been rectified. No big Blink initiations yet. No roars coming out. No, the one stun onto, I guess, SVG, but that's it. So we're waiting for that first big team fight, and we might see it here in the jungle as Soxa puts down a very defensive ward, but a good one at that.
They see everybody, though. That's a really good hawk by Braxter now, getting so much information. Sees all 4 people from the side of DC. And he's walking
way
out.
Behind enemy lines.
Do they have a sentry to put down? They don't have reveal right now.
They just bought some for Jason. They're going to Moonlight Shadow. That hasn't been revealed yet, and guess who's backing? DC know that, well, guess what? Weeha's farming. We don't need to push anything. We don't need to pressure anything. Weeha has a Midas and almost his ratings.
Yeah, he's huge.
Everybody on this team is farmed. Not that Shazam are super underfarmed, but at this point, they're just not getting the same. And when you're trying to keep pace against the Lone Druid, that's bad. Moo's going to find SVG Sentry right on top of him. And he is going to get blown up with a finger. Now you need to back. The arrow's going to come through. I don't think you fight this or even think about fighting if you're Shazam. TC is staying. Resolution's got Blink stun up and one ready to go. Rage could have gone if needed, but he doesn't have to use it. He's not getting jumped on.
They don't need to force it. DC is just, right now, just needs to chill. They see Weeha's taking top tower.
They're splitting the map up. They're finding everything they need. And it looks like they pinged out Roche.
Oh, look at this. This is going to be a really cool move if Mojo gets caught here. Resolution's making the setup for the top lane.
Here we go. He's got the blink stun ready. MSS going to get jumped on. Amp damage is going to get popped up. Can they get in the tangle? He's going to leap away, but still slow with the Orb of Venom. And Resolution needs one more blink or a sprint. He's going to get the last hit with his big, giant freaking club, and they get the tower in the process.
Such good reads by DC in this game, understanding the movements by Shazam like perfectly. They see the map. They see that Shazam isn't really farming their lanes too much. They know that Shazam's playing in their jungle.
I feel like this Bounty Hunter is giving them so much trouble with his vision. He's got the track up, he's got the move speed. Resolution's looking to counter-initiate. Can they get in range for a Fiend's Grip? No, they cannot. Jason says, I don't think so. Even if he was in range, he would have gotten stunned immediately, I think, by Resolution.
Yep.
It's tough. That is tough, man. Dear God. They're just losing this game in just about every fashion at this point. 7,500 net worth advantage at 16 minutes.
Sox has been... honestly, he's giving so much information on the map. Not only with the courier snipes, but the ward that he placed earlier near the Roshan pit on that cliff, the ward that he put in the mid lane, both of these basically caught all of the movements that Shazam has been doing in this entire game.
Yeah, they had a ward down here towards the tier 1 at the beginning of the game that got really good vision. Digital Chaos is finding everything. Shazam is finding nothing after those first couple of kills on Mu early on up at that top lane. It's still 4-3. Not particularly exciting for NA Dota, but, you know, it's cool in its own ways how teams are moving around and doing things. Maybe not for Shazam, but for everybody else.
Yeah, DC has to feel pretty damn good right now. Radiant's pretty much done on the bear. They have Resolution with his core items. They even have Misery with his core items.
I mean, they could just fight. They have a blink initiation on Lion. They can honestly... They might do that thing where they just sit back, they farm, they choke you out, they take towers, they play objective-based gaming, and go from there. Which is pretty likely in this case. Or they could just straight up push and fight and just do what they want, because they have control of this game now. And Shazam will go for a smoke. It almost feels desperation smoke, and I feel like it's been scouted out by that observer ward on the cliff. I'm almost positive. So Shazam, that is almost like a tilty smoke in to a certain regard.
Saksa might die here though. He's standing on top of a sentry. So if they go that way...
Oh, he's going to be scouted by the... they see with the ward. And he's just out of range. No, they catch him now. They pop him next when the arrow's going to come through. The Sunray, the axes, the Starstorm. They'll get the damage done that they need to bring him down. That's Roar expended. I think they're okay with losing just the Bounty Hunter, actually.
He doesn't give too much.
But if they turn this into Roche, maybe this is okay.
I don't think that this is the right play. If DC can get the read on this, they can definitely kill them.
They should know this is happening.
I mean, as long as if they can sneak it, then it's obviously the right play. But if DC was aware at all...
Well, they're going to smoke up and they're going to head right over there. Digital Chaos knows something is up. Bane, he's going to be the first contact. Jason's going to see it. He's got a Fiend Script, and Smoke's about to break on Weehaw. There's the Moonlight Shadow. This might not be the best fight for them.
Radiant's done.
Shazam, they were so close. Well, they're pretty close to finishing it. It's below half health at this point. The Radiance is done, and fighting into that is so difficult. No more Necro 2. It's on cooldown for another 50 seconds. SVG up at the high ground. A fight might break out. Everybody back up. The bounty's coming in as well. Sox are looking to get some tracks up, and they might just have to get out of this Roche pit. And Shazam, they pretty much will give this away. They have the Infest up, though, into SVG, and Infest Bomb could be huge. DC, they've been scouted. Jason's ready to go. He's in a bad position, though. He's waiting for his team. He sees every single one. He'll TP to the Tier 2 tower. They have no idea. Scouted this out.
Need to watch out for this lasso.
The blinks are there. Not just the lasso, but every other form of initiation that Digital Chaos have. You get a lasso, you follow up with just about everything. And they're going to go for the tower instead.
Yeah, it's really hard for the positioning of Shazam. They need to keep their supports really far back.
It's tough. SVG has good initiation potential with the Icarus dive. He's got the Infest Bomb. The Nightmare will come through under the bear. They're going to arrow it up. Not sure they could bring it down, even with that Brain Sap. It'll do some work. Sprint. Resolution was looking to counter-initiate if they decided to go on the bear. It's low. They still have another one to use anyways. The cliff will fly. A tense situation. If Shazam take a bad fight, it feels like it's pretty much game over at this point.
I love the standoff, though. The 5v5 standoff, just chilling. They're like, do we go? Do we wait?
It is a classic Mexican standoff is what it is at this point. Yep. They're just staring each other down. Guns holstered for the moment.
Both teams, they're definitely feeling the pressure, though. DC is feeling a lot more comfortable, but you can see, like, neither team wants to do anything crazy. They're playing very safe, very calculated.
Shazam will move together as 5. Are they going to head back into the Roche pit? It looks like that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we waited 90 seconds, guys.
Our full book is back up and ready to go. We're going to take it down, no problem. Do DC read this and head over there? Stoxa is nearby, and he's about to run in. Can they get this in time? Roshan is pretty low at this point. It's going to be close. The bear will come in first. It'll scout things out. They've got Savage Roar. They can take him down. Now MSS is going to get caught. They're going to jump in with the Icarus dive being fast out. Detox and Supernova on top of it. They're doing good damage, but Moo gets to the high ground.
Only they can disengage from the egg.
They're going to get Jason caught immediately. Moo's solo. They can't get the kill. Now they're going to bring him down. They actually take down 2. Buyback from Marana. It's going to be 3. It's going to be 4. MSS gets back to the fight, but it's too late for them. He can't do anything. He's going to have to use his Moonlight Shadow, and they have to give Roche away. And that feels...
I can't believe Moo didn't even die. I thought at least Moo was going to die.
You had 10 HP, I'm pretty sure.
Shazam ended up over-chasing. They fought away from the egg, which just... they can't do that. They need to fight with, like, on top of the egg. But DC also does have pretty good disengage of just being able to run away. And that's exactly what they need to do in these fights. As soon as the egg goes off, if they can't kill it, they just need to completely run out of it and fight away from it. And that's what they did. And it went perfectly.
And Moo's just like, I'm going to hover over the high ground. You can keep chasing me. If he had not gotten to the high ground with that Firefly, there's a good chance they get that kill. But that's just Moo. That's just Moo. They only get Moo out of that. They would probably still lose everybody. They fought back on Mojo Storm Stout. He has no farm progression now. He is super far behind. There's 12,000 net worth on this lone druid. Just about everything that can go wrong for Shazam is going wrong. It feels like game number 1 of the last series. 10,000, almost 14,000 net worth advantage for Digital Chaos. 10,000 experience lead.
Yeah, it's been pretty much an information game though. Sox has done an incredible job of just understanding where Shazam is going to make the movements, getting some really nice wards down, sniping 2 couriers in the early game, which definitely gives a big boost to DC. And then you can see DC just was very well aware because of all of that where Shazam was going to make the moves, and just were able to kind of dodge the fights around until they have the items that they need. The Radiance, the Blinks,
and look at what he's doing. Look at what Sox is doing now. He's putting wards behind the tower. He's being super aggressive. They're not going to invest into a gem anytime soon.
He's got his mech. He's pretty much setting up for the push for the tier 2s now.
Which is what's happening. They're all TPing mid. They might look for a pick first, but for Digital Chaos, it is time to at least put the finishing touches on this game.
Usually when you put these type of deep wards, it's because you want to trap the enemy in their base.
Which
so this is pretty much what they're going to be doing.
It's going to happen here momentarily, I'd imagine. They're going to take down all these tier 2 towers, one after another, and go from there. Before a fight breaks out, which I imagine one will at some point in time, do you ban the Bounty Hunter next game? Or do you pick it up for yourself if you can?
Who had first pick in this game? It was Shazam, so they will probably have first pick next game, so they could take it.
Okay.
Is it something that they like a lot, or not really?
I don't think so. I don't think SVG's played it.
Then we'll probably see them ban it next game. But still, we're still in this game. We do see Resolution. I was looking at him, I was like, wow, he looks incredibly broke, and then I clicked the base, and I was like, oh, he has a Reaver.
There's the Reaver. There's that 3,300 gold.
Yep.
Or however much it costs now. That and with a heart too, like Armlet providing the armor, heart providing all that HP. I was correct, thank you. And well, I don't know what you do at this point. You have to fight into this tanky bad boy that is a Slardar.
Well,
and the entirety of Digital Chaos' lineup, which has so much initiation potential. Weehaw seems to be almost unkillable at this point. His Bear obviously is. He's got Vlad's now and working on his Assault Strauss. It is time to just go one after the other, Fog. Tier 2 after Tier 2 after Tier 2. Maybe you can find some picks in there too and hope for the best.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Shazam can really do to get back in this game. They have to be in really good positions and just hold on the high ground, I guess, at this point, which is really difficult, though, versus DC's lineup. Because there's the Bat Rider, there's the Trax, which will be thrown, and there's obviously going to be the Bear, which at this point should be able to force towers pretty easily, because Bane has only 1 point in Enfeeble, and they have no other heroes really to push out the lane, to push the Bear out, and there's constantly DPS from outside. It's the Sunray, sure, there's the Fire Spirits, of course, but
not much. Not much to deal with the Bear. Not much wave clear in general. I think you have that's the problem with going with a life stealer instead of somebody that has cleave or just any ability to clear out the creep wave. So they're going to be hemmed in their base. This is exactly what you were talking about, and I'm sure Misery at some point has already drawn that line that says they're not leaving this area, or even Shazam saying, "Hey, we can't get out of our base." Luckily, they're still able to farm towards the secret shop, but that's not much. SVG is actually cutting the creep wave and TPing out. He might not get any of these. Oh, they're going to just barely tick down to Fire Spirits. The scan does come through, and that is, I believe, a Shazam scan, and they're going to smoke up and try to find a fight. Shazam, this feels like a last-ditch effort, something they have to go all in, a Hail Mary, whatever cliche you want to use, they're going to go for it right now. Blink, they're going to get the roar off. Who's in trouble? He's going to fall almost instantly to that Necro, and I don't think you go any further. Resolution was waiting to counter-initiate, but he decided against it. He's going to try to take down that Necro Warrior, too, and he does. The backlash will go. They're still going to push. They don't care. No lasso. Try to fight us 4 versus 5. We'll see how it goes. And that's it.
They've got Aegis still. They don't really need to force an engagement. There's no real way that Shazam can force an engagement now without Roar. They need to land like some super lucky arrow. which isn't going to happen.
No, it's the Murata pick did not work out. The Lone Druid pick worked out perfectly. You know, I understand Murata very strong right now for certain teams, but in this game, she did next to nothing. MSS has had a rare misstep in terms of what he's accomplished. The game is still going. It's 25 minutes. There's comeback potential. It's not great against Lone Druid though.
It's pretty poor, to be honest, just because they have a Mirana and a Lifestealer versus a Lone Druid and a Slardar, and I would much rather have a Lone Druid and a Slardar in most instances.
Yes. Slardar has been one of the key ingredients, I think, into winning this series. There's the Ags at least, so they now have a little bit more wave clear coming out with that Starfall, if you're an OG. And there's a smoke right outside the base for Digital Chaos. I'm not sure if they were scouted. Well, they see Soxa now. They know. They ping him out immediately. They say, okay. And it looks like Digital Chaos know as well. They're like, well, let's just back up. This is giving more room for SVG to farm himself up to whatever he's getting.
Yeah, like we were saying, they don't really need to rush anything. They can probably just farm up a bit more, finish up their next few items, and just wait for that next Roshan.
This is going to be a 4 versus 4 engagement as Brax is looking for Resolution. He's going to run right around the corner. Resolution's got Blink. He's going to blink away as Brax is looking for the initiation. Arrow's going to sail through it. Might hit. Resolution will narrowly avoid it. And his heart came out as well. But now the Blink lasts. They're going to bring Brax back. There's the Moonlight Shadow infest out. Resolution now on the run. No Aegis or anything like that, but the damage is not nearly enough. They can't catch him. They still have Roar ready to go. Moonlight Shadow about to be completed. Misery looking for no spike or finger. He's out of mana. Double stun coming out from Resolution. The bash on the MSS leaps away. Still alive, but will die to the newts instead. TC trying to man mode, but he's against 3 heroes. He'll get entangled, and he's done so. 3 down. Shazam not looking like they're in a great position here in game number 1. It feels a lot like game number 1 of the last series. And they are in dire straits as their base is about to get pushed, fogged, and that's just not a great fight.
Yeah, I guess they don't need to wait for the Roshan if Shazam kind of just gives them the opportunity to get free kills kind of there. So DC now has the window, and they're probably just going to break that.
SVG gets caught. Finger, and see you later, Brax.
No buyback.
As well as the Bane, the lone survivors here.
I think that's going to be the GG call.
Yeah, they have the tier 3 tower. They're going to get the racks as well. This is a best of 5. Shazam, they had just taken down DC in that 3-game series in the winners bracket final. DC come rousing back with a amazing game. Very clean, few mistakes. Socks to the MVP in terms of vision and getting things done in the early stages of this game by far.
Absolutely.
And I think you have to worry about the Bounty Hunter next game. The game's not over yet, but it feels pretty much complete.
I think this game is over. I think this game is fair for Shazam to call. They can wait, of course, and just think about it and think about the picks and stuff for the next game, but I don't think that they can come back. They don't really have the greatest high ground defense, and DC has heroes that can just force that.
We'll see what they want to decide on doing. Probably talking about the draft picks for next game, what they can grab, what they want to ban out. And just playing it out, honestly. Just give themselves a bit more to go off of than just, you know, GGing out at this point.
Yeah, probably some Hail Mary play that they're going to go for.
Do they have another smoke? They're just doing this with MLS, I think. It's up in 5. They have lost a little bit of vision for Digital Chaos. There's the slimmest possible chance of a 5-on-5 team fight turning out well in favor of Shazam. I mean, even getting just a 2-for-3 trade is arguably difficult.
I just don't see how they even kill the bear. His hero, for the most part, is going to be in such a good position, and he's able to roar for the Fiend's Grip, and then, he's just going to be hiding back.
Soxa might get scouted out. In fact, he will. I don't know if they want to blink Roar on this. They're going to take both of those down. He's going to come up, and there's the Infest out. Doesn't get the damage from the Infest Bomb. The last one to CC, and then Supernova as well. Nobody hitting it. Weeha's going to go to work on it, and it will fall more than likely because I think it is only level 1, and Weeha just chewing through TC. Gets the entangle. They've lost 3. Another team's fight going the way of Digital Chaos. Moose running over them. He's got his Firefly up and ready. There's a good game. Finally called from Brax. The right play at this point in time. It'll end with a dominating spree for Weeha and a double kill as well. He ends up getting the triple and mega kill spree. 16-5, the last kill score as we get a GG.
Yep, DC just seemed to have a more comfortable read on this game in general. Saxo, throughout the entire game, he just had the read on Shazam. He knew basically exactly where they were going. He's telling his teammates, like,